So that's what we're going to talk about. How do we make sure that we're better? Now, the major thing, there are five levels. Leadership has 5 levels. And you see, why I use this ladder is because you need to climb the levels one after the other. You can't jump. If you jump, you risk falling. Check? Now, the thing is, there are 5 levels. So the levels are positional, permission, production, people development, and PInnacle. Right? So let's start with positional. Positional leadership is when you start. That is when they've given you a position. Maybe they've given you manager, or they've given you head of unit, or they've given you something. The biggest mistake you make is to think that you use that position and come and be flexing. When you are operating at a positional level of leadership, before I define it, let me ask, how many of you think this is how you operate? Be honest. If you feel like this is how you operate, let me know. You use your position. Your position, they shack you. Wait now. I know. I'm going to catch them. Don't worry. Right? Okay. So let me catch you now. Have you ever told somebody to do something and maybe the person is like wasting time? I say, my friend, I'm your manager. Some people have, some people haven't. I'm coming. Wait now. The second one. Have you ever said, MD said? That's what I'm saying. If you need to use MD's position to get things done, you haven't started leading. Check. Are we together? If I say all of you are doing this table, I've broken the table and everybody's on it. If you have to say, hello, where are you? Gladys, where are you? MD said I should tell you that. If you can't call Gladys and say, Gladys, can we have a meeting by 3 o'clock? And you are afraid that Gladys might not answer you, it means that you haven't invested in that relationship. You haven't invested in that relationship. You are using position. MD said. So if there's no MD, then what? If you are MD tomorrow, who will you call? A shareholder said. Chairman said.
But this is a common nomenclature everywhere.
I know. That's why we're here to change it.
But it might not necessarily mean that you don't have influence. You're probably just passing a message because
you don't have
what
to.
MD said.
Yeah, but if MD said it, you digest it and then pass it on. It's not as verbatim. MD, pass it.
I'm saying that it might actually be as a result of spoken as in like.
Let me tell you what it does. So I get you, but let me tell you what it does. It diminishes your power in the eye of who you are telling. You are trying to tell them that on your own, you can't come up with this strategy. So guess what happens now? You see, the funny thing is that what happens, let me even, so that we can have the conversation very well, right? A lot of times what happens is that people think that, so they come out and say, MD said, MD said, MD said, MD said. Who are you that you are my leader? What have you said? Every day is MD, manager, HOD, Madam said, Hajia said, ED said. So you need to be able to take it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, pass on the message. But when MD tells you, right, as a leader, you internalize it first. Now see, because you see, when MD is going to give you something, he's going to give you the broad picture. When MD told HR that they should train the staff, they just say train the staff. They didn't say put Richard next to Chidozie. They didn't say, they just give you the big picture. And that's the thing. So your job as the leader is to now internalize what the MD said and then now pass it on to them in bite-sized chunks. You don't have to pour everything. Sometimes you have to even tell them, okay, do this. When they've done it, okay, do this. You already know where you're going to. Right? So it's important for you, for your own leadership, for you to be able to tell people to do something. That's another one that a lot of us are guilty of is, see, the beautiful thing with leadership is this. And that's why I always like to use this example. So I'm sorry if I'm always using it, but, pardon me. In family as well. Exactly. If you don't do it, I'll call your daddy for you. So what does that make you? Powerless. Rubber stamp.
If the daddy is late, you cannot leave.
Exactly. Do you understand? But you should be able to say, look, this thing you are doing is wrong.
Children of these days.
You will tell them something, they will check Google. Check Google and say, Taregi, what I say, mommy, you don't even know anything. Right? Now, another thing you need to also understand is, apart from even saying that, is my friend do. Okay, you tell your child to do something and they say, why? You say, my friend, I'm your mother, I'm telling you to do it. And tell me why first now. Do you understand? Anytime you have to remind people of your position, you have lost that position. If you have to remind people that you are the manager, you are not the manager. You are not the managing director, you are the damaging director. Right? Check. Now the next level is permission level. And this is when people will give you permission to lead them. How do you get people to give you permission to lead them? One of the biggest problems that this government has is that we haven't given them permission to lead us. Or we gave them, then they lost that permission. And we collect our permission back. Now it doesn't mean that when they say something, we won't do it. When they say lockdown, stay at home, you stay at home. But you're not doing it out of patriotism or out of love, right? There are three things you need to understand for you to always get people's permission to lead them. And you can use it with anybody. You can use it if you meet somebody today. The first one is value people. You see, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Imagine if we didn't start this training till 11. How would you feel? You left your home early, you came here, we kept you. Or imagine if we had said no breakfast. Do you understand? But because we value you, so you already know that, look, these people that are here care about us. That's why they are coming to talk in front of us and they are passing a message. So value people. So somebody greets you, Auntie, good morning. Are you getting me? Value people. Somebody is greeting you, you are looking at something else. Or you go home and your children are talking to you, you are typing your phone. You are not even going to look at them. If you value people, when you are talking to them, you look at them, give them your undying attention. How would you feel if you are talking to somebody, a manager, you come to your manager, okay, boss, so we had an issue with this customer. Hello, yeah, okay, yeah, go. How would you feel?
Very bad.
Very bad. Because you feel like the manager doesn't value you. The second thing is understand what is of value to them. The biggest mistake we think is that we threaten people. If you don't do it, I'll give you query. If you don't do it, I'll sack you.
Correct.
Guess what? I'm trying to sack myself. I will leave your work for you. You can't threaten.
To answer query, no dey tire.
You understand? Answer that question. Answer. We answer you.
Why? He says that.
Do you understand? You need to understand what is of value to people. So, if you don't understand what is of value to people, you'll be in a mess. Let me break another table. So every day, your birthday, oh, they're buying you rose, chocolate, car, did. But every time you want to buy your boyfriend or your husband something, you buy him boxers, singlet. No, but that's not what is of value to us. Did we tell you that that's what you want? You understand? Buy me PS5. Let me play a game a bit, boss. You understand? Tell me that, honey, today I know Arsenal is playing. Any Arsenal fan here? No. Yeah, sorry, Today Arsenal is playing. I know you want to watch your... Guess what, honey? I've bought 25 liters in the gen. Fire down. Do you get that? You see, that's the issue. Because you don't understand it, because you don't understand what is of value to them. Exactly. Now here's the funny thing. Do you understand? See, look, listen, this thing. So it can be football, it can be anything. But it takes, look at the 90 minutes in the scheme of things. 90 minutes. But you know the issue? You start to think that if he's focusing on 90 minutes, it means he doesn't care about me. How can you compare yourself and football? Don't even try it because you will lose. Check, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, but you see, that's the thing. It's an understanding. Yes, now. Because the issue is that you haven't even shown the understanding first. Because you see, leadership is influence. And I'm telling you this thing, try it. The third thing, right? Let's wrap that up, right? The third thing you need to know is to add value to people. So one, value them. If you value people, right, you will care for them. You will sacrifice for them. Do you understand? So if you want people to give you permission to lead them, first you need to value them. Then you need to understand what is of value to them. Then you add value to them. And it can work anywhere. It can work in your office. It can work at home. It can work anywhere. Your kids, anywhere. You want them to do something. When they know that you value them, and they know that you value them, that's a good thing with children, right? They forgive. But then understand what is of value to them. What do they like? Gadgets. You know, this, that. So give them that promise or that add value to them. Sometimes, sir, let me even tell you, sometimes the children don't like gadgets. It's because the thing they want, they can't get it. So they are using the gadget to fill the time. The major thing they want is attention. If you see a child making noise, climbing everywhere, you see that, leave it, stop it, do it. That's what they want to. Because they know that that's the only way they can get you to talk to them. Otherwise, it's just, what's your report card? Okay, good, bye-bye. Right, but if you spend time and you give them time, you see that they will. It's the same thing with your staff. You need to be able to have time to just talk. Hey, how are you? And I'm not saying this every day. Right? Hey, how are you today? How's everything? Are you okay? Do you need to talk? So what the people that you work with, the biggest mistake you make is to think that leadership is one size fits all. It's not. Different people have different ways that they want to be led. And the only way you take the pain to understand how the different people that you are leading want to be led is if you value them. If you don't value people, you have no business leading people. Check? Now, some people now say, okay, the trainer said we should value people, let's be petting them. I can't come to work today. Okay, I value you, stay at home. I didn't say that. Which brings us to the next level, the production level. Let me ask you a question. If a coach is coaching a football team and he comes as a coach and he values the players, he understands what is of value to the players, he adds value to the players, and all the players like him, but he's not scoring goal, what will happen? They will sack him now. Exactly. They will sack him. It's the same thing. Do not sacrifice production of results for permission. However, you cannot get results without permission. It's a delicate balance. And that's what we're going to talk about. There are two types of people in this world. There are people that can produce results easily. But you know their problem? They can't get people's permission to lead them. There are kind of people that shall come, hey, this is the direction, go! But people are sluggish. And then there are another group of people that can get people's permission. They are nice. Do you know any of those people? They're just nice. You just meet them and you just like them. But you know the problem? They are people pleasers and they don't end up producing results. So the idea is for you to learn how to balance it. So producing results is very important. The fourth level is people development. There are some of us here that are overdue for promotion. Check. HR is hearing, they will promote everybody. Check. The reason why you have not been promoted, do you know why? It's because there's nobody to take over from you. Yes. Yes. Manager doesn't, okay, let me tell you, look, the top management of the business, they are all about effectiveness. So they sit down in a meeting and say, okay, let's promote this guy. Okay, but if you promote him, who will take over from me? Nobody. I better keep him, let him be doing the job. Yeah, but there are sometimes. Guess what? I will even tell you, let me even explain to you another way that it happens. You see, doing the job, if you are doing the job nitty-gritty, you are checking the account, you are reconciling line by line, are you going to have time for strategic thinking? If you don't develop the people that work with you to be able to do those nitty-gritty work so that you can free up space for you to now think strategically, you will not be promoted. So you are very good in checking balance sheet. But when they ask you, what's the forecast of the housing industry? But I'm good with. Our manager is like, no, this guy doesn't, he doesn't show leadership potential. Because you are too stuck doing the daily nitty-gritty, reconciling, debit, credit the receiver, debit the sender, balance sheet, But you need to be able to develop the people that work. And you know the reason why you don't want to develop the people that work under you? You say they don't know what they are doing. They are not smart. But remember, we said that a team's effectiveness is the leadership capacity. So if your team is not effective, it's your fault. If nobody has told you, I'm telling you today. If you go and you are telling a fellow manager, maybe HR manager meets account manager, how does your people? They give me headache. I'm tired of them. Can't they think? How do you know that they can't think? Have you given them an environment that gives them time to think? Have you developed a curriculum for them to try it, make mistakes, correct them, nurture them, help them grow? If you think about it, the best managers that you can remember are the people that helped you to develop. I remember when I was a copper, I was working in a lubricant blending plant. The manager then, I used to wonder, what kind of... Honestly, then I used to think he was lazy. He used to do anything. We're doing material requisition. He said, I should raise it. We're doing this. He said, can you do it? I said, yes. He said, go and do it. By the end of my service year, I knew the work very well. It was later I now realized that the guy was actually helping me. So the issue we have is we're too stuck on perfection. We're too stuck on doing the work that you're not even allowing the people under you to develop. Check?
Check.
Yes.
So my point is like this. Some leaders are willing to help their followers to develop and improve. But you see that some of the followers are not being willing to even learn or develop themselves. It's as if they see it as kind of punishment. I don't know whether maybe is it how the leader is trying to do that or that the follower does not want to. With what I've seen so far, some are not willing to improve or develop themselves from under their amiable leadership, who is willing, who has a good environment for them to develop. Some followers should also exhibit that willingness to learn. Someone like me, as a lawyer, I go outside my profession to learn many things about banking, whatever. I believe in learning everything. And a leader who is supervising me knows that, yes, she's willing to learn. And they will give me work. Think maybe they already know that if you just tell me how to do this, I'll pick up. And I'm happy doing it. And I'm happy giving that work to do. Can other followers also show that willingness?
Yes. So here's the thing. You need to understand that you are an exception. The typical person wants to remain how they are. It's not everybody that is ambitious, and I can guarantee you, if I'm going to ask your colleagues one-on-one, some of them don't like you.
Of course, I know.
Right? Why? Because you are moving out of the normal. The normal is, I've come to do my work, let me face my work. I don't care. So when you are talking about banking, they're like, waiting, join lawyer and banking. Face your Nemo Judes and Consaswa. And leave us, let us be doing our, you understand? So that's a difference. But however, as a leader, you need to be able to identify what can you do to draw the greatness out of the person. Sorry? Yes. Yes. Because remember, we said people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If your followers know that, look, I care about this person, they will do anything for you. Coming back to that example that I gave you guys of my former colleague, right, Abakar, right? He knew that I care about him. Because I've gone to his house. He stays inside one koro in Kano. I've visited him. I've eaten in his house. We've traveled together. You understand? But the new person that came just wants to be bossing him around. You can't just come and want to boss people around. The way that you can get them to answer you is if they understand that, look, this person cares about us. Check?
Check.
Now, so people development. Now the last one is PInnacle. Now what happens in PInnacle is when you get to the highest point. And this is when everybody in the organization is leading at a level 4 level. It's impossible. However, it's something that you want to aspire to. So you want from your cleaner to the driver to the gatekeeper to everybody is leading at a level 4 level. And what is level 4 level? People development. So you want your security guard to develop himself, to develop the people under him. You want everybody. Now, it's impossible to achieve that. However, you want to continue striving to get there.